on liquidity, right? I think that this is another part that everybody hyper focuses on is I've been described this is the oil, this is the gasoline that actually makes the flywheel here go. You need this thing, right? And again, AMMs is just one part of this. Is how do we incentivize participants in this market to be providing liquidity to be able to make this flywheel go? Now, the next ones I think are where we're starting to get a little different here, and there's not other decentralized exchanges who do this. This is the part that, it's taken me a while to think of originally. I'm like, is a permission DEX a feature or a bug? I'm like, in some ways, I'm like, it took me a little bit of time to be convinced, because in some ways I'm like, it's nice that it's permission you get to know, but isn't that kind of the point of crypto and blockchain? It's crypto and creating this. I think the reason here though is also looking back at why don't institutional, real companies who are in traditional finance, why don't they use these decentralized exchanges? I think that this is a key part. So one of the pieces that we're having here is combining these three allows us to know who the participants are. You can get your KYC, you can get your KYB, you can actually add all of these things, but we can still have that decentralized nature where there's less intermediaries in between. That's the hope here. We're going to go through again, right now, I was primarily talking about, we have the native tokens. Obviously, we have XRP, our native token on our ledger. I have RUSD going in. So fundamental problem here, you have somebody who wants to actually send something to somebody with a third-party payout. So again, within the overall XRP ledger, the overall XRP DEX, we've created a permission domain here. And again, I see this as a private room per se, or a place where you're making sure that all of the participants in here are actually good actors. They're in the system. You can have trust in the same way that you do with a centralized exchange. This is why you go to them, because you don't have to know all of the participants, but you can actually be sure that somebody else has made sure that there's no money laundering, there's nothing nefarious happening. It's all above board. You can have your compliance team happy with this. So the main part here, again, is this order book piece, right? So I think we've talked about this a little bit, but creating, again, this tokenized asset. Again, in this case, I'm trying to show Colombian pesos. I think when you actually see the path here with a liquidity provider, the key things that I'm looking at here are what again, going a little bit later, what actually is going to make this thing really sing. But the ability to have really solid, fast, not only rails to the actual payout, but to be able to actually have really good mint redeem functions. This is something that's actually going to be critical. So if this world that I'm trying to paint here, we have a variety of assets for the ability to buy this with, you have the liquidity on there. Imagine this marketplace where if you wanted to do a payout in pesos, you just buy a peso, you have the ability out of the box to be able to do that. I think that this is pretty compelling, and I think that this is something that you cannot do on other decentralized exchanges. And I think that a lot of the challenges, again,